I don't think anybody will ever fully understand the spike, the shot of adrenaline that I get to my system when I think of Bella Swan's mother, Renee, from Twilight as a vampire. All I want in my life is for this train wreck, this absolute train wreck, to become a vampire, and I do believe that she is destined to become one in any universe. In Midnight Sun, Edward talks about when he first meets Renee, her thoughts shout. They scream at everyone around them, and everyone just obeys those thoughts. Edward says, for a moment I imagined Renee as a vampire. Would her thoughts shout audibly at everyone, inescapable? I couldn't imagine she would be very popular. Even Edward's like, she's a nightmare. And he notes, like we talked about yesterday, that even Bella with her shield was not safe from her mother's thoughts. This gives new dimension to what Bella's life with her mother was to been. No wonder she had been so protective, so nurturing. No wonder she'd given up her childhood to take care of this woman. It's Renee's thoughts. And they may be subconscious. I know I call Renee a villain, but I'm not saying that she necessarily wanted this from Bella. But my headcanon is that even canonically, even in Stephenie Meyer's universe, Renee will become a vampire. This can happen in a number of ways. I love the idea of Renee like somehow eventually remembering that she has a child like 5 years after Bella gets married, coming around, and Rosalie and Emmett being like, she's the perfect surrogate for our little hybrid demon spawn baby because we can vamp her out when she's done. Or she just gets Carlisle to turn her, or Alice, or Emmett, like on a dare. And I firmly believe that she would be the world's first adult immortal child. It would be a second short life of Renee Dwyer situation. She would compel people, like mostly unconsciously, for the dumbest shit. And I do believe she would attract the attention of Aro because compulsion is serious. She would team up with Aro. She would join the Volturi. I think she'd just unintentionally destroy it from the inside out and they'd execute her. Like she'd be having a girls' night with Aro and she'd be like, Aro, tell me, let's kiki. What's like the worst thing you've ever done? And he'd be like, oh my, no, I can't tell. He's like, no, what's the worst, like Bene Gesserit voice, like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And he'd be compelled and he'd be like, I unalived Marcus's wife, who was my own sister. And the whole Volturi would just like collapse from the inside out. Maybe this is how the Volturi wives would be able to rise, like at the end of Life and Death. Aro would execute Renee for this, and then Marcus would execute Aro and Caius. There's no one I love to hate on more than Renee, but I need her vampire story. I need it so bad.